Hi, hi students. Today this video is just for your midterm assignment. Okay, and as I told you, we have two assignment issues. Uh, Both of them should be come out of this video. Okay, if you carefully listen to this video, you are quiet enough to answer my assignment. So I strongly recommend you to watch my video. This is just a full midterm assignment, okay, for economics. Okay, you have a graph here, and now I'm telling you the equilibrium. Equilibrium is the point here, just here, which means supply, supply, and demand meet together here. Meaning that at this point 7, this is quantity. In case of example of ice cream cone, here 7 ice cream is the point to meet supply and demand. In other words, supplier is okay to supply 7. Demand customer is okay to purchase 7. So the 7 is a point, okay, to meet together to satisfy. This point is to satisfy supplier and buyer together. Okay, the point price, equilibrium price is $2. Ice cream at $2, 7 quantity is the ideal ice cream in the market. Okay, the price at this quantity is $2 here. Understand? Okay, this is we called equilibrium. In market, this equilibrium is automatically regulated by what? By price. The by price. Okay, by the price. Okay, then suppose that this is supply 9. Supply 9 augmented along with pricing increased. If price increase, I will see that. Okay, here this dot below is the price less than $2. Maybe here, suppose that 1.5, here $1, right? Point 0.5 maybe. Okay, see that as the price increase, if we go up here, as you know, the price. Okay, this point, if this point, what is point of this? Okay, this point is in the in the loan and in the vertical here. Okay, so they vertical. This is vertical. Vertical 0.5, 1.5. The loan 3. Quantity once the price 0.5, the ideal quantity for supply and demand is 3. Okay, if the price is 1.5, then supplier would like to supply their product, ice cream cone, in the market 3. Okay, 3, and at 3, yeah, okay, at 3 the price equal to 1.5, meaning that, in other words, when supplier increase price up to 1.5, the buyers demand 3 buyers will purchase ice cream cone. Okay, that's a similar consumptions. Okay, there. And as time goes on, once the price is okay here, $2, then supplier will increase the number of ice cream up to 7 because as the price goes up, the more profit of supplier. Okay, but demand will be to the to okay, see that. Okay, the demand here. Okay, here. Once the demand, look at the demand right here. Demand line. The demand line here. You will see this one. Okay. As the price goes on here, the demand also reduced. Okay, when the price is look at this $2, the demand 2, on the contrary to supply and demand go opposite, right? Supply and demand go opposite. Okay, I'll delete and then start again. Okay, for your easy explanation here. Okay, here, look at this. Okay, this is equilibrium, but let's start with the supplier. The supplier. Okay, we have a basic cost. For example, basic cost of certain product. Okay. In case of ice cream, let's assume the ice cream. Okay. Once we assuming ice cream's basic cost, suppose that is 0.5. Okay, $0.5. Suppose that. This is just an assumption, right? $0.5. Okay, and if price is $2, in terms of supplier, $2 deduct $0.5 for the cost. His revenue, his profit will be $1.5, right? Okay, this is his basic income. Okay, it deducted the cost. Then if the price goes up, if price goes $2 up to $3, then his profit will be increased, right? Meaning that as the price goes up, supply follow up because the supplier can make more money. The basic cost for each ice cream cone is fixed. That's the reason, right? Okay, so let's see the demand on the contrary. For example, he has $1. He has $2. Okay, $2. Maybe let's suppose different. He has $15, for example. Consumer has $15, and once the price ice cream for one ice cream is $2, then he can buy here 7 ice cream, right? Okay, he can buy 7 ice cream and demand the buyer think this price is reasonable, and this 0.7 meet together with supply and demand is an ideal point in the market. So we call this point, as I told you, is equilibrium price. Okay, this one is compromised price, right? Compromised price. Okay, this is equilibrium price in the market, but he has $15. But once this is line of demand, the price goes up to maybe $4. Suppose that this point is $4. He has, once the price is the $2, the buyer can purchase 7 ice cream, but once price goes up, double price of $4, he can reduce his purchasing, right? Okay, up to maybe $7 is proper. Then this is one unit, $7. Okay, the price up to $7 here. This is $7. Okay, then the ice cream he can buy is only one ice cream, right? So automatically the demand will be reduced from 7 to 1. As what? As the price increased. That is very natural phenomenon. This is very natural phenomenon. Everybody can understand this phenomenon, right? So, here the buyer's line will be declined on the right. And because as the price goes on, the quantity, the number of ice cream he can buy will be reduced here, right? Reduced. So, like this. On the contrary, if the price goes down here, look at this. Okay, here, or maybe here at this point, maybe 14. If the price goes down to $1, $1, okay, then he has $14. Then he can buy double of 7. Then he can buy 14, right? Then the quantity, the number of ice cream he can purchase will be increased almost up to double, right? Okay, then we can run that. The demand line will decline on the right according to the price level. Contrary, okay, look at this. The supply line will be up to the right. This is down to the right and up to the right. They go opposite. They go opposite. In case of a supplier, the seller, as the price goes on, they can make more money because the cost for the production is fixed like this. Okay, so the line will goes up on the right. But we have the point to meet. This is proper pricing, meaning supply line and demand line here. The 7 quantity is ideal and meet together in the market at the price of $2. Okay, here. This is either point, and then this point is regulated by pricing in the market. Pricing in the market. So this one regulated by the price automatically without any intervene of a government or any authority which makes an influence on this point. Okay, so we called this one as a invisible hands, the magic hands by Adam Smith. Adam Smith stressed that the market price is automatically regulated by demand and supply by the price. Okay, so this time, let's see that. Okay, again. And this point is, I told you, automatically composed. Okay, so okay, this one is, and at this point, according to the Adam Smith, he said this is the magic hand. Magic hand. Okay. The meaning of magic hand is magically this point is established by demand and supply automatically. Okay. The key factor to meet these two right meet together as none other than the price here. Okay. And but sometimes this magical regulations fails when the market failure. So what is the meaning of market failure? The market failure, meaning of market failure is as it is, as this terms expressed. Market is a failure. Market is failure for what? For unexpected factors. Unexpected factors. Okay? Unexpected factors. What kind of factors? The factors unexpected which makes an influence on this market. We call this one as a externality. Okay, we call this one externality. The externality is the factors which make the magic hands in the market. Okay? Because of this externality, market do not regulated magically by the price. In this case, with the externality, someone has to be intervened to regulate the market properly operated. Okay? So the externality can be classified into negative and positive. Positive externality is no problem. Positive externality is no problem. But negative externality is a problem. Most outstanding negative externality is pollutions. Okay, suppose that we have two pollutions and market share. Monopoly. Okay. Pollutions, in case of more pollutions, we have later on, you have to explain the externality to make this equilibrium. Okay? And then that's the reasons why I am giving you explanations for your writing down in the exam. Pollutions. We have two, you know, uh, we have two company as instance, company A and company B. Both company are manufacturings, okay? And the same items. Suppose that this is assumption. Okay, they use oil for manufacturing and then they have no extra device to prevent pollutions. No device, no invest. For what? Pollutions. But company B equipped pollution preventing device. Meaning that this this company spend money for manufacturing. Okay? As this company spend the money for manufacturing, their cost will be increase. The cost increase. Okay? Cost increase. But company B do not spend money, so the cost do not increase. But in the market, they compete together. In this case, as the as the company A with no investment for additional devices preventing pollutions, then the B, so the A can have a more competitiveness, right? Then in the market, this is twist of a market price because this company is more competitive than this company. Even they are very sincere cooperation, but they will be flourished because they are less competitive. Flourished, right? Then later on, this company A will occupy market share because company A defeat company B at pricing, right? But this is not prop equilibrium because the A makes a bad influence not only on their competitor but also very severe, very genuine customer. Okay, by expiring pollutant to the air and makes people get sick, get sick, right? In this case, in this case, even we have an equilibrium, but it looks like equilibrium, then government intervene and penalty and impose, surcharge for this company. That is the externality. Okay, that is to cure externality. Okay, this point equilibrium sometimes can be twisted by this kind of externality. Okay, externality happen when the externality happen sometimes result in market failure. Okay, sometimes result in market failure. So, in this status of externality with the market failure, the government will intervene to cure this statement. Okay, except that market will be regulated by invisible magic hand, as Adam Smith underlined, and by the cost of pricing. Okay, this is equilibrium concept, and I have told you what is the market failure which makes in this equilibrium. Okay, then let's go to the the movement of demand and the movement of supply. Look at this. I'll delete rest of this one. Okay, the movement. So my questions in assignment is please distinguish the movement of demand or movement of supply and the shift of demand line and shift of supply line. We have two similar but distinctive terms, words, the word shift and movement. We have to distinguish these two similar but different words. Okay, these words you have to. This is the key answer. Key questions. I will ask you. Key questions. Okay. What is the difference between the shift and movement? I have expressed in my previous class at school and also simultaneously broadcasted by Zoom, and the midterm key answer and key question is to distinguish shift and movement by example. By example. So you have present the difference with the example. Okay? That is your assignment. Okay, here, the movement first. The movement along the line, whether it's demand line, whether it's supply line. Look at this. Okay? The movement here, the line changed here, 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 like this. Okay? The line changed along the line. And the dot, the point change around the line demand by what? By the level of pricing. Okay? By the level of pricing here. Okay, look at this. From equilibrium, once price goes up, okay, the point goes up. And once we write down directly, vertically, then we can find the quantity. Okay? Okay, if the price goes down here and line run and line vertical here, okay, here, this is the price, the quantity. Look at this. by up and down of price, you will see, the quantity changed along the line. Okay, once this dot of demand, this dot meets between demand and cover, or demand and supply, move, move along the line. Which line? In case of demand line, it is the demand movement of demand, movement of demand. Okay, the movement of demand is determined by what? By pricing only. By pricing only here. Okay, this pricing is, in this case, we call the variable. The variable meaning that the factor which makes influence on demand. Okay, so we have a price. This is variable which makes influence on demand. Okay, so we can express these equations, by, in this case, we call the variable price as an independent variable. Independent variable. Okay, this variable is not influenced by other factor. This variable, independent variable, is a variable make an influence on other variable. The other variable influenced by independent variable is called dependent variable. Dependent variable. Okay, so the equations between independent variable and dependent variable is expressed as a regression. Regressions. So we make the regression model in this graph, and we can detect the movement, how the movement, how the movement varied. Once price increase, how the demand point change. Okay, that is the regression model to see between dependent variable and independent variable. Okay, we call this one regression model. Anyway, the thing I want to emphasize in this graph is that once the point moving along the line, in this case we called movement of demand. Okay, this is quite distinguished from shifting demand. This is movement demand. In this case, movement demand, the factor which makes movement is the only factor showing in this graph. In this graph, the factors, movement factors, the independent variable is a pricing, because the price of an ice cream cone, as an example here, is shown that the price is the main factor which makes movement of demand. Okay, so you have to distinguish this one. The movement, movement is caused by visible demand here. What is the visible? What is the looking factor here? The factor is listed here, written here, like this, the price. Okay, once the factor visible in this graph makes an influence on demand, line or supply line, we called in this case movement of demand of movement of supply. Okay, the movement. Keep in mind, movement in this case. Okay, so we can see that as the price goes up, our demand will be lessened, reduced. I explained this one enough in the previous explanations. And contrary, look at this, the supply line movement that is also determined by the factor of a price. Okay, once the price goes up, okay, look at this, the supply quantity, number of supply will be increased. Why? Because she can make more money, because the basic cost is fixed for the same product. The higher pricing, the more profit. Okay, so the profit as the supply curve move, okay, with the price. In this case, the movement of a price we express like movement as the same demand movement. Okay, then let's go to the shift. What meaning of shift? Okay, the movement is only variations by the visible variable here, the factors here, the price. Okay, then what about this? This is simply moved by visible factors expressed in graph here. Okay, by price goes down. Okay, then demand increase, price goes down, supply decrease. They move opposite directions. Okay, because their interest between supplier and demand are quite opposite. Okay, then let's see that this is one expressions. This can be enough for your expressions of number one, questions, then ice cream cone and quantity. Also, you can replace this price, this variable, by others. Okay, so in your report, if you replace not only price but also other variable which makes an influence on demand, okay, that will be more point for evaluate your reporting. Okay, so imagine the variable directly makes an influence on demand movement and supply movement. Not only pricing, but also other factors you can imagine. Okay, so in your report, you can imagine whatever you think that factors can make an influence on movement of demand and supply. Okay, directly. Okay, then let's go to the next page to show you the concept of shifting. Okay, this explanation is for movement. I told you we have to distinguish the concept, the movement and shift. Okay, movement is just moving the dot along with this line. Okay, along with this line. But shift is different. Shift is a different concept. Look at what meaning of shift then. Okay. Here. Okay, here. Okay, here. Oh, this is, then we have another thing. Okay, we have another thing. Okay, look at this too. Let me write this one a little more. Okay, here. Then we have two different once. This is equilibrium in previous page. Okay, this is equilibrium. Then this point once move up to the price increase. Once price increase 50 cents more, then okay, we will line Federal penetrate demand line here and penetrating supply line here, meaning that the equilibrium move, okay, up along with each line demand and supply. Why? Because the factor here, which makes sense, this is independent variable, the price. As the price increased, okay, once the only factor, the variable, the price increased, the movement along the line changed, right? Then look at this. We have some interval in the equilibrium. This is the point which satisfies both parties, supply and demand. So at this point, there is no surplus or there is no shortage. Okay? Because this line has no extra space here. No extra space here, right? Meaning that the demand and supply quantity is the same. No stock. No stock. No inventory. Because quantity 7, all quantity was consumed, purchased by what? By demand. No extra demand and no extra supply, because this equilibrium is ideal point for supply quantity and demand quantity too. Okay? Then once the price increased up to 2.5, then 50% more. If the price is increased by supplier, then as the price increased, once parallel with the price, the supply increased quantity, but in this case, the demand will be decreased as much as right here, okay? Demand, okay, once from equilibrium, as the price increased, this price was increased by maybe supplier, okay? Then supplier want to increase the quantity because he can make more money. Then 3 more, right? 3 more. But contrary, as the price increased, the demand, the buyer has a less capacity to buy restricted budget to buy product. I expressed that one, right? If this guy has $7, he can buy 7 ice cream, but I'm sorry. If this guy has $50, once price is $2, this guy can purchase $7. This is naturally we can guess that once prices increase the 50 more, then the capacity to buy with the $40 to buy the ice cream is reduced down to 4. Okay, then this is the capacity of demand. As the price increased, then we have a gap. We have a gap. What gap? Okay, here look at this. This is 4. The demand for ice cream reduced, and then surplus 3 ice cream remains. Okay, this is unsold ice cream number. This is unpurchased ice cream number. So the totally how many? Yeah, we have a 6. I'm sorry, 6. Here's 3, not 4. 3. I'm sorry, so sorry. 3. Okay, I have 3, and I have 3 at the 6 totally. 6 ice cream is surplus. This is meaning of surplus is remaining. Okay, remaining, meaning that unsold stock. Okay, we have a remaining as price increase, right? Okay, contrary, look at graph on the right. Then once price down, this is a contrary, right? This is contrary phenomenon. Once price down up to 1.50, meaning that the 50%, $50, 50 cent down, then naturally as the price down, the buyer's capacity to buy the product is increased. So he wants, this is demand line, from 7 he can purchase more, 3 more. Okay, but contrary, as the price down, the profit of supplier will be decreased, so the supplier will lessen, reduce supply up to this point, 4, then 3. Okay, this one, actual supply quantity is 4, but demanding quantity is 10. So there is how many? 6 shortage. Okay, consumers are in short of 6. In short of 6 product. The 6th product is in short. They need more supply 6. Okay, this happens along with the pricing. Okay, this happened along with pricing, right? The reason why this phenomenon happened is because of one variable which is visible in this graph. This one variable makes an influence of surplus and shortage as the point move along the line demand and along the line supply. Along the line demand and along the line supply. Okay? So we can imagine that the movement of supply or movement of demand is a result of not result of, is a result in surplus and shortage. Okay, surplus of supply, shortage of demand. at the same time. Okay, this can be shifted. This can be changed periodically, right? So in some period, this will meet together at equilibrium. And this is the functions of government once the market failure. But except that if there is no market failure, then this point automatically settle down by magic hand in the market. Okay, by regulating by demand and supply. Okay, in this case, what happened? Okay, once the surplus and the seller, the supplier were damaged by stock. Once the product is in their warehouse on stock, then their profit will be reduced because the cost for resolving the stock product will be increased, and this cost will reduce their profit. As cost increased, their profit will be decreased. Okay, so they want to share this one, not to accumulate their cost and damage. Okay, then they will reduce their price up to this, the price down up to this equilibrium. Okay, so this one is automatically by demand surplus, by price surplus, and then this will return to this equilibrium. Okay, in case of shortage 2, then once the demand is in short of, then there will be a less supply, then the price will be increased up to equilibrium because people are struggle to purchase product even with a higher price. Then automatically this point will be returned to equilibrium point. Okay, then market will be stabilized. Okay, this is the movement and how it functions and the result. Okay, let's go to the next, the shift. So the shift. Okay, look at this. This is the difference. We have one supply line and two demand line. The demand line, one blue and one red. The red one is the shifted demand line. What is the meaning of the shift? Okay, we have two demand line here, but please ignore this red line. What can we imagine? This is the demand line. Just now we have studied. This is the movement, okay? Movement. So meaning that according to the price, 50% increase from equilibrium, point to change here as a lower price. We go maybe here, okay? We have shown that. We have looked, but this time not along this line, but this line wholly move here. Okay, what can you imagine then? Okay, this line move from here to here. Okay, not wrong though. What is the distinctive thing here? Even look at this. Even the line as it is move up to the whole line moved, not moving along this line. Okay, why? The price, look at this. Even the price is fixed the same, 2.50. Okay, there is this movement of line. But in this case, we do not use term movement. In this case, one whole line moving to up or down, we called this one not moving. This was a shift. We express this as a shift. Okay, what is then difference between shift and movement? Okay, look at this. A movement in the previous case, we saw that the movement is influenced by the price fluctuations here. Okay, once price goes down, the point from here. But in this case, the price is fixed here. Okay, 2.5 is not changed. 2.5 is not changed here. Okay, for the more striking color here. Okay, even here and here, point 2.50 is the same, not change of pricing. Then demand increased. Why? This is demand, this is quantity. Okay, the quantity from here and equilibrium not changed this time. Equilibrium sustained. Okay, the equilibrium sustained. No extra surplus, no shortage, no lack of shortage. There is no extra one remaining, and there is no extra lack one shortage here. Okay, this is equilibrium. The meet together ideally the point, but look at this. The price the same. The demand increased. Okay, in the movement, once the demand increased, price should go down. Okay, price should go down, but in this case different. The price maintains same, but demand from and the equilibrium maintains same, but demand from 7 to 10. Okay, if you go right, then this is demand quantity, so the demand will be increased. Okay, understand that? Okay, what is the distinctive things? When I ask you in my assignment for this, that movement and demand is different. Okay, movement again of demand or movement of supply and shift of demand and shift of supply is different. These two are different. You have to distinguish this one in your assignment. Okay? In this case, when movement move, okay, for moving of the movement point, the price is the only factor. The price is visible here. Once price once price goes up and down according to the price fluctuations, the movement is moving, right? But shift is different. Shift move. The shift change regardless of the price variations. Look at this. price is fixed though, the shift, as the shifting the demand line, you will increase demand. Okay? Here. And shifting demand line maintain the same equilibrium. There is no extra surplus or there is no extra shortage. Okay? Because the equilibrium maintain the same. This is big difference. Okay, then we can imagine that once shift of demand and shift of supply, let's make an example like this. Sudden climate change, unexpected temperature increase in certain days, then sudden demand for ice cream cone because unexpected hot weather. In this case, supply do not increase the price, but demand suddenly increase like this. Okay, but the factor makes an influence of this shift of demand is not shown in this graph as a factor, as a variable, unseen variable. Okay, like hot weather. There might be some other factors which makes an influence on hot weather, not only hot weather, but also other we can imagine, which makes an influence on line shifting. Okay, line shifting. In case of demand shifting, contrary, what can imagine that? Okay, what can imagine? Sudden increase of material. Ice cream material like sugar pricing. But sugar pricing is not shown in this graph. Then what can we determine for shifting demand? The shifting demand can be occurred by the factor which is not seen in the graph. Which is not seen in the graph. Which is not expected factor. By the factor which is not expected. Okay, that's big difference. Once you explain distinctive two concepts, movement and demand. Okay? Understand that? Okay, that in case of demand shifting, unexpected hot water, then even the price is fixed, demand line shift up or up. Sometimes by other fact, the demand shift down, right? So you can imagine, and you should give me the explanation with the example in that case in your reporting assignment. Okay? And then, so you have to imagine, and you make some good examples. It depending on how you can make the example and how you can explain well, your grading will be determined. Okay, so I give you general informations, general explanations, and then you should add two extra explanations and extra, examples, instance for your wonderful assignment. Okay, this is the demand line, how it shifts by certain factor, which is not seen in this graph. Okay, this time, look at next case, the supply line shift. I give you the very brief implications in case of supply shift with a fixed price, that Look at this. The supply shift. Okay, here, look at this. We have supply shift here. This is supply line. Okay, supply line here, here, okay. As the price of sugar, which is not shown here, if the sugar price is increased, then the cost for ice cream will be increased, right? Then this is naturally their profit goes down because the portion of cost is higher. Okay, this is total revenue, and then total revenue is composed two packed, like cost and the profit, right? If the cost is higher, relatively the price goes down. Okay, so this case too. This case too. Look at this. Okay, this is equilibrium here, and sudden increase price of ice cream. Okay, then supply line shift from here to here, meaning that, look at this, okay, the quantity reduced, maintaining equilibrium in this case. Okay, there is no shortage or there is no surplus. Okay, but I made one mistake regarding the price. I correct. Please listen carefully. In both sides, shift demand and shift supply, the price level will change. I told you price level fixed, but that was my mistake. Price level changed, but equilibrium maintained. There is no shortage or there is no surplus. Okay? Why? Because this is a sudden out variables makes an influence on this shifting. Okay? With out meaning that unseen variable, unshown variable. Okay? Okay, look at this. In this case, even price increase here from $2 to 50 more increase, but look at this. Because of a sudden increase of a material, okay, supply line shift here, right here, okay? Supply line reduced, maintaining surplus, maintaining equilibrium, okay? The point of these two shifting is the equilibrium maintenance. Okay, equilibrium is sustainable. There is no shortage or no surplus here. Even shifting of movement. Okay? In this case, again, in a previous case too, I will show you again. Okay, I made one mistake. Here too, we have a change of pricing. Okay, the price is increased because the demand increased. Price is increased, but once price increase, principle of economy tend to demand should be goes down. But in this case, demand goes up because of shifting of shipment, not movement. Okay? Original principle of economy, once price goes up, demand tend to goes down. But in shift demand, once the price goes up, demand doesn't goes down. Contrary, demand goes up because the shift of this line goes up. Meaning that equilibrium is maintained. As the equilibrium maintained, the equilibrium means that demand and supply meet together and compromise the point. Okay? This is new equilibrium. This is new compromising point. Even increase the price. I told you price not increased. Price fixed, but that was my failure. That was my mistake. The price goes up. Even price goes up according to the original principle, traditional principle of economy. Once price goes up, demand goes down. But in this case of a shifting demand, even price goes up, demand increase. Okay, demand increase. Because of this shift is caused by unseen, unshown, okay, variable, which is not specified in this graph. Not by the price, but by the sudden hardware and other variables. Okay? Once sudden or unseen, unshown variable makes an influence on demand shift. Even price goes up, demand do not diminished, do not goes down. It also at the same direction goes up. Okay? Price goes up, demand goes up. Okay. Next, I have to correct my explanations. The price and look at this. Okay. Okay, here. Yeah. Okay, we have a shift of line here from blue to red. Okay, we move the shift. This shift is caused not by these visible variables, but by unseen variable like sugar price increase. Right? Sugar price increase. Once the sugar price increases, the sugar price is not visible, which is notified, specified variable shown in this graph. This is unseen factors, right? Sudden variable. Okay, this is sudden variable, and because of the increase of material, sugar ice cream cone company cannot resist. Okay, so they increase the price though 50%. Then according to the traditional economic theory, once price goes up, then demand supply goes up, because as price goes up they can make more money. But once demand shifter, even price goes up, their demand their supply goes down. Different, right? Different. You have to explain this point because the equilibrium maintains same. Okay? Okay. Because of the higher cost for manufacturing complete product, the cost of product is increased. The more production do not guarantee the more profit because of the portions of cost increased. Okay, so in this case, shifting supply, contrary to original economic theory, even price increased, supply decreased. Okay, so you have to remember these two phenomena. Okay, I'll summarize then. My questions for your midterm assignment, which is substitute midterm exam. My question is to explain movement of supply and demand and distinguished movement, not shifting demand and movement. Okay? So, my questions is explain movement of demand and supply. Explain movement explain shift of demand supply. Okay? These two items and by example. Example should be selected each of you. Okay? Each of your example. Not my example. I have already explained. Okay? Okay, this is my assignment content. You have to answer. Okay? So, number one, explain the movement of demand and supply. Number two, the shift of demand, and you have to distinguish these two concepts. Distinguish two concepts. Okay? So this is my midterm assignment. So the more example and the more detailed explanations, the higher grade you can achieve. Okay? Thank you for watching.